Good evening and welcome to the channel's studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. At least 100 people have died and 150 others are injured after a fire broke out during a wedding in Iraq's biggest Christian town. Hundreds were celebrating in a banqueting hall in Karakosh in Nineveh province when it happened. It is not known what started the fire, but some reports suggest fireworks set it off. Flammable panels fueled the flames, causing parts of the ceiling to catch fire and fall. It was not immediately clear if the bride and the groom were among the victims. A New York judge has ruled that Donald Trump committed fraud by repeatedly misrepresenting his wealth by hundreds of millions of dollars. The ruling, part of a civil case brought against the former president and his family business, said he defrauded banks and insurers for years. It is a major blow to Mr. Trump that will likely hamper his ability to do business in the state. Mr. Trump and the other defendants have argued that they never committed fraud. Migrants have continued to pour across the US-Mexico border amid the latest surge in numbers making the journey. Here, a large group of Venezuelan migrants making their way across the Rio Grande and into Eagle Pass in Texas, where they awaited processing. Large numbers of migrants have been crossing into the US from Mexico in recent weeks, piling pressure on the Biden administration to stem the flow of people as the US 2024 presidential election race begins to heat up. More migrants have also been seen traversing the Americas, with Costa Rica's president ordering a state of emergency. The controversial Rosebank offshore development in the United Kingdom has been granted consent by regulators. Located 80 miles west of Shetland, Rosebank is the UK's largest untapped oil field and is estimated to contain 500 million barrels of oil. Development and production approval has been given to owners Equinor and Ithaca Energy, following reassurances over environmental concerns. The plan has faced widespread criticism due to its impact on climate change.
Well, firstly, even the Independent Climate Change Committee has acknowledged that we're going to need oil and gas when it comes to 2050, even when we reach net zero. So I think it's important that we protect production. And if you look at what's happening in the oil and gas, it's unlocking investment into things like hydrogen, into things like carbon capture, which we need, again, to reach the green transition. And all of this stuff is already in the budgets. It doesn't change that. We have hugely ambitious targets in this country, more ambitious than any other major economy, and we're absolutely still sticking to those.
There are thousands of people across the UK who have expressed their opposition to the Rosebank oil field, hundreds of NGOs, as well as I said, thousands of individuals, including scientists, health professionals, climate experts and energy experts who have all made it very clear, and academics who have made it very clear that approving Rosebank is a disaster, not just for the climate, but for the UK's economic and energy security.
And the world's first food made from plastic waste, according to its developer, is vanilla ice cream, and it hopes to kickstart a debate about the future of food and the plastic pollution crisis. The ice cream is actually an art installation called Guilty Flavors by artist and designer Eleonora Ortolani, intended to challenge the way we think about plastic waste and what we are and are not prepared to eat. The process, developed by scientists in Edinburgh, harnesses the metabolic power of bacteria and enzymes to behave as eco-friendly factories to digest polythyrene terephthalate and turn it into vanillin, the molecule that gives vanilla its flavour.
Well, the idea was to basically demonstrate that we have the tools today to rethink the food system we're living in.
And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the channel's studios in Lagos.